Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Season 12, Episode 33, overall 638 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, located at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com, for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all-electric vehicles and Cadillac vehicles as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210 and tell them Chris Palme sent you, or you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been family run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969. I hope everyone's doing well on this Friday, December 26, 2025. Happy Boxing Day over here in Canada and the UK. And I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah season, and Happy Holidays. And I'm looking forward to my guest today. This is his sixth appearance on our show, and he's a longtime Buffalo media and radio personality on WGR 550 in Buffalo. This is his sixth time on our show, and he's also a New York Mets fan too, by the way. And we're going to bring on Howard Simon right now. Good morning, Howard. How are you?
Not doing the show if you keep that Eagles cap on.
No Eagles cap?
No, I'm not doing the show if you're wearing an Eagles cap.
I don't have any hair, though.
So?
Anyways, Howard, how are you doing, and how was your holiday season?
It was good, thank you, Chris. Hope yours was as good as well.
It was peace and quiet. I ate too much food, watched too much football, but no complaints otherwise.
That's what holidays are all about, food and football.
By the way, you did get a Christmas gift this year that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to miss the playoffs for the first time in a decade.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I think most football fans are. It's not just a Kansas City thing. It happens with any team. I mean, we experienced it here a lot with the Patriots, but I think it happens with any team that gets there all the time. You know, baseball fans don't want to see the Dodgers in the playoffs next year, I'm sure. You just get tired of seeing the same team. It's kind of, there's a little bit of respecting a dynasty or thinking, wow, that's really hard to do. At some point, you're like, yeah, I'm good. I had enough. Again, our perspective is a little bit different because Kansas City has kept the Bills, from winning a Super Bowl, we think, 4 times now. So, yeah, I'm good without them in the postseason. That'd be fine.
Well, besides Kansas City, Baltimore is going to miss it. And there's Detroit and Washington as well. So it just shows you how tough it is to win every year in the National Football League.
Well, you never know about injuries. I mean, obviously, Detroit's been ravaged by injuries on defense. Baltimore, I mean, they were crushed by injuries all season long, and now Lamar Jackson's hurt again. So, knock on wood. I mean, the Bills have had their own share of injuries. Obviously, there's one player you would never want to miss a game, and he's been healthy, thankfully. But yeah, from season to season, you have no idea what's going to happen, and there's no guarantee you're ever in. And I think that's why when the Bills clinched the playoff spot the other day, I think fans breathing a little bit easier. You just got to get in. You just got to get in, Chris, and then you never know what'll happen.
What are the overall? Is there any expectations for Ed Oliver to be back this season at some point? And Josh Allen, how do you see him going into this game with the Eagles with that foot injury?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's been limited in practice this week, so I'm not exactly sure how that's all going to play out. You want to play everybody that you can because the division is still in play. The odds are that it's going to be New England. I mean, they'd have to lose either to Miami or the Jets, and both of them are playing backup quarterback. So it's probably not going to happen, but division's still in play. So, you'd like to believe you're still trying to win both games. I think Oliver will be back. I mean, he's been showing up at practice. He's not wearing any kind of brace or anything. So my guess is at some point I would anticipate seeing him at some point in some capacity in the postseason, if not before then. But I would think he should be able to go, hopefully, in the playoffs. That'd be great to have him back, even for a small snap percentage.
It looks like the weather is going to be a factor on Sunday too at Highmark Stadium with a 80% chance of rain.
Yeah, that's and I didn't check the winds. Sometimes it's not necessarily the precipitation at the stadium. It's
The
how
wind.
windy is it? Yeah. So I don't know what it is for that, but it's going to be, I think, around 40. So yeah, no, it's not fun for the fans to get rained on and get wet, but I don't know that that'll have a serious effect on both offenses. You can play in the rain. Like I said, I'd be
Yeah.
more concerned if it's like crazy windy.
And the Eagles are hoping to have Lane Johnson back. They're Tom Brady of the offensive line. Jalen Carter, the big man's been out with a shoulder injury. And Nakobe Dean, I think, is questionable with this game. The linebacker with a hamstring injury as well. So I don't think Nakobe Dean will be playing because they have a young kid named Campbell playing. And by the way, Howard, the Eagles have been in the NFL since 1933. The Bills joined in 1970. These two franchises have only met 15 times. And this is only the 9th time the Eagles have ever been to Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. And obviously, the last time these two teams met was that crazy 37-34 win for the Eagles in overtime at Lincoln Financial Field. And they're saying this could be a preview of the Super Bowl, possibly.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the problem is both these teams have had some struggles, right? Both
Yeah.
these offenses that have been terrific in recent seasons in the NFL, they're both dealing with some things. It's kind of different stories. I mean, there's no question about the talent level at wide receiver for the Eagles, but just something hasn't been right with the offense pretty much after the first month of the season. I know there's a lot of talk about Jalen Hurts and the passing game and all that. Here, I mean, they do not have the talented wide receivers the Eagles have, but they have a better quarterback. Of course, the Bills have a better quarterback. But yeah, for both teams, you look at the schedules too, right? The Eagles started out 4-0, and then they've been 6-5. The Bills started out 4-0, went 3-4. Now they've won, I think, their last 4 straight games. So been kind of an up and down season for both these teams. But they do have playoff experience. They do have some talented players. I think they have good coaches, and who knows? You never can tell what'll happen come the postseason.
You know what's funny, Howard? Jalen Hurts has similar numbers to Josh Allen, and Hurts has one interception or a bad game. Everyone's ready to write him off, and it just seems like it doesn't matter what he does in Philadelphia. 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, wins a Super Bowl MVP. I don't compare him to other quarterbacks anymore. I think Josh Allen's a great quarterback. I think we're going to see 2 great quarterbacks here, and between them, they have 20 rushing touchdowns between them. Allen has 12 and Hurts has 8. And I think both quarterbacks are great quarterbacks. I do agree with you. The Bills don't have the receivers. They do have a couple of nice tight ends. I like Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. If they can stay healthy, they could possibly be an impact in this game as well.
Well, they need them if they're going to make any kind of a playoff run. They need Kincaid for sure. I mean, he's been a better pass catcher than Dawson Knox, really since Kincaid joined the league. But he can't stay on the field. But he's kind of their downfield, well, at least intermediate range threat. He's very good in the middle of the field. I think he's got pretty good hands. And I think he can be a really good weapon in the passing. I mean, really the 2 most consistent guys in the passing game are Kincaid and Shakir, and neither one's a big play guy, but they're reliable weapons. So I think it would make a big difference for the Bills passing game if Dalton Kincaid can stay healthy. Knox had a good game a couple of weeks ago. I wouldn't say it was a big drop in Cleveland because they ended up winning the game, but he dropped what would have been a game sealing touchdown. I think if Kincaid stays healthy, that's going to be a big factor for the Bills when they do start playoffs.
Howard, James Cook, a lot of people last year wanted him gone. They didn't want to pay a running back the kind of money. Well, I think Brandon Beane was smart not listening to the fan base, because to me, obviously I'm a Saquon Barkley fan, but James Cooks is one of the top running backs in the National Football League, maybe even the top running back this year. And he's going to have a big role in this game Sunday, because I feel Josh Allen, with his foot injury, is probably not going to be as mobile that is normal. So I really think a key for the Eagles win is they've got to try to contain James Cook, who I think is one of the best players in the National Football League.
Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah, it wasn't, fans didn't want him gone, but fans didn't want, the big, crazy, outlandish money running back contract. And I'm with them as well. I would have been very hesitant to give it out. I don't think the Bills went crazy with the contract. I don't think what they gave James Cook is going to be a hindrance to the salary cap going forward. And look, as it turns out, thank God he's here, because the passing game, again, they don't have a weapon. And I'll even include Kincaid, but for sure in the wide receiver group, they do not have someone who scares the daylights out of opposing defenses anymore. They used to. Stephon Diggs, when he was here and he was playing well, you'd have to account for him. The Bills don't have that guy in the passing game. So really, the offense, when the offense gets going, it's because Cook is rolling. At times we've talked about, it's crazy to even suggest that the way to stop the Bills is to stop James Cook, because in recent years it was, you can't let Josh Allen go crazy on you. And now we're talking about an offense that if Cook can't run the ball, you shut the Bills down, which is not good, quite honestly. And that's an issue for the offseason. But he's been tremendous. I mean, he's just taken his game to yet another level after what he did last year. And he's one of those guys, the way he's played these last 2 years, he's reached the point where you like to have these guys on your favorite teams. They're just fun to watch. Like you're excited to see this guy play on your team. Of course, Josh is that way. And now James Cook is that way, because anytime he touches the ball, he can break a big run. The offensive line has done a terrific job opening up holes for him, Chris, and the wide receivers and the tight ends and Reggie Gilliam when he's in the game, the fullback. Yeah. But there's something about his patience, his vision, the way he reads where the play should go, his cutback ability, his explosiveness. Good luck chasing him down. If he gets to the edge, you're not going to catch him. There's just a lot of things to love about how he plays the game.
Now, I feel last year the Eagles had the number one running attack in the National Football League, over 2,600 yards. Saquon went crazy. But in the Super Bowl, Kansas City decided to take away Barkley and their running game. So they ended up throwing the ball and beating the Chiefs that way. Now, this year, the Eagles have been running the ball okay, but obviously Saquon wasn't going to get 2,000 yards again. I think the Eagles' running game hasn't been as good this year because teams are gearing up for Barkley, and also with the injuries on their offensive line has hurt them as well. And Jalen Hurts is now hasn't been running as much as he used to, but in the last couple of games, they have had him more of a threat. So having Hurts run more, Barkley out there, and then Tank Bigsby, who they got from the Jaguars, could be an X factor as well. I think both of these teams have great running games, and I think it's going to come down to maybe who runs the ball. It's going to come down to the offensive lines and the defensive lines in this game.
It might. I mean, I don't know the Eagles' approach, but I'm almost positive the Bills would say first and foremost, you can't let Saquon Barkley go bananas. And the run defense has gotten better over the season. It was really bad earlier this year. It's improved, but it still has its moments where it can make Bills fans really nervous. They still have an issue with missed tackles. I think their play has gotten better a little bit in the linebacking core, which I think is part of that. I actually think Jordan Poyer taking over the starting safety spot has helped the run defense too. So it's making some strides, Chris. It's not a shutdown run defense. It's not out of the question that Saquon Barkley could run for 100, 150 against these guys. I would think, no offense to Jalen Hurts and, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert and all that stuff, I would think first and foremost, you can't let Saquon Barkley dominate the game.
And the Eagles offensive coordinator, by the way, Jalen Hurts, 5 years as a starter, has had 5 different offensive coordinators as well. But Kevin Batolo is under a lot of heat in Philadelphia. So I do feel the Eagles are going to try to run against the Bills right away. And I think the Bills obviously want to get James Cook involved in this game as well. Howard, I wanted to ask you this on the defensive side of the ball. What are your thoughts on the play of Christian Bedford this year and how much he meant to that secondary?
Oh, he's huge. I mean, if Oliver going down definitely hurt, but you can make a case that the one guy you would not want to lose on the defensive side of the ball is Christian Benford. He is down to down. I mean, he's an every snap guy. He is probably their best player. I mean, Ed Oliver's an extremely talented football player. Obviously, he's not going to play the amount of snaps that Christian Benford will. And part of Oliver has these moments where he kind of disappears a little bit in games. I think I would have said this about Matt Milano in years past in terms of the best every snap defensive player the Bills have. But I think it's Benford. I mean, he's one of the best cornerbacks in the league. The Bills hit a stretch in the season. They don't typically have a cornerback shadow a number one receiver. They'll just play it out, have guys on their sides and all that. And there were a couple games, I think Cincinnati was one of them with Jamar Chase. I forget what the other one is, top of my head, Chris, but a couple of games where might have been Tampa, where Benford was shadowing the guy. Like that's the guy, you go wherever he goes. And he's terrific. And when he was injured, when he's out of the lineup, that's not a good thing for the Bills secondary because the other cornerback position was in flux. Now, I think Trey White has done better than I thought he was going to do. They rotated Maxwell Hairston a little bit, but Benford, he's a lockdown guy. You don't have to worry about him. You put him on the field and whoever he's going to cover, he's good. And you just, worry about the rest of the guys in the secondary. So I think he's been critical to them. Now, the secondaries, I think, has improved. I think it was the biggest weak spot, biggest question mark going into the season, but Benford's Benford. We knew that. But Trey White, as I said, has done better than I thought he was going to do. Poyer, since taking over at safety, I didn't think he had anything left in the tank after what I saw in Miami last year. He's been good, Chris. He's not Jordan Poyer in his prime with Micah Hyde next to him, but he's good. And Cole Bishop has really improved in the starting spot at safety as the season has gone on. So secondary actually has turned out to be a pretty consistent unit.
If there's one area on this team that you're concerned about, is it the front four? And I wanted to get your thoughts on Joey Bosa and how much of an impact he's had so far.
He's been really good. Yeah, I think, the question was, can he stay healthy? For the most part, I mean, he hasn't played in every game, but for the most part, he's been healthy. And the key is he needs to be healthy now for the playoffs. They've really got Joey Bosa for the postseason when they need to get their pass rush going. I think the biggest questions to an extent have been answered. I would have said, as I'd said a moment ago, going into the season, no question secondary, but it's better. I think there were issues at linebacker. I think Shaq Thompson getting out on the field and playing more often has helped the linebacking core and by an extension helped the defense. So the front, Oliver got hurt. Some of this is injuries. Oliver got hurt. Michael Hoyt was suspended. He comes back from the suspension, has a really good game and gets hurt. So that was a problem. So I think some of the injuries up front, the pass rush has not been consistent. If Greg Rousseau plays like he did in Cleveland the other day, look out. If Oliver comes back, that's going to be a big help. But I would say with the improvements in the back seven, I'd say the front of the defense now would be your biggest question mark.
Now, do you find the Bills, I know the Eagles have done this too this year, they've played down to some of their opposition. Do you find the Bills have done that? And what did you thought about the win against the Browns? Obviously, they got the win. A win's a win, but it was an ugly win.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't say you can't make a blanket statement. Sure, you'll point out, I don't know how the hell they lost to the Dolphins as badly as they did. I have no explanation for that. Yeah, the Browns game was close. There have been some games, that the Bills have not really played that many full 60-minute games. They tend to get off to a slow start, especially the defense, and then they look better after halftime. I mean, they didn't come out and blow out the Saints right away. They lost to the Falcons, and I don't know how they lost that game. They lost to the Dolphins, the Browns game. But then they went down to Carolina, who actually now is, battling for a division title. They blew the doors off the Panthers before they turned their season around. So, and that's why I said, I don't think, you can make a blanket, hey, they play down too, because it hasn't happened every single game. I think it's more of a byproduct of this team has flaws. It's not as good. I don't think it's as good roster spot 1 to 53 as recent Bills teams. And that shows in their play. They're not at a level where they can play consistently top football from start to finish. They have flashes. They have some down moments like they did in Cleveland. And that's why this season has really been more of a struggle to get to 11 wins.
The Eagles have been similar as well, and they've lost a number of games by like 3 points or less, including blowing a 21-point lead at Dallas, which was not good for my blood pressure, and then blowing a 14-point lead at home at Denver as well. I think they still have a very good team, but I don't think the roster is as good as last year because they lost a lot of key pieces. Being a Super Bowl champion, you can't keep everybody. I really do expect both of these teams to be up for this game because I think the Eagles have a lot of respect for the Bills, and I think the Bills know how good the Philadelphia Eagles are. So I think this is really going to be whoever has the ball at the end of the game is probably going to win this game.
Yeah, look, I think like I said, the Bills, I know the Eagles clinched the division, but they're still playing for seeding. I apologize for not knowing the NFC scenarios that they still have a shot at a 1 seed. The Bills, again, are still alive for the division. You want to keep playing well, right? You'd like to go into the playoffs on a winning streak. I don't, if the Jets game means something for the Bills, I don't think anybody feels that they're going to lose to the Jets. The Jets are just horrific. I mean, incredibly bad. So you'd still like to be playing good football going to the postseason. So yeah, the Bills still have something to play for. It could be the second to last game ever at that version of Highmark Stadium. You don't want to close the final season at Highmark losing one of your last 2 home games, assuming you don't have a home playoff game. So there's plenty for the Bills to play for and have incentive for in this game.
You mentioned that this is the final season at Highmark Stadium. My favorite Eagles moment there was September 9th. I think it was 1990. Randall Cunningham, Jim Kelly. The Bills were in the midst of their 4 Super Bowls, and Bruce Smith was going to sack Randall Cunningham in that end zone, and Cunningham escaped it. I don't know how he did it, and threw it 90 yards to Fred Burnett. So that's one of my favorite Eagle moments in that stadium.
Yeah, I was at that game. There was a game in the drought years, I believe, where the Eagles were here. And I want to say it was Andy Reid would have been coaching them then.
03.
And I don't know. I feel like, I thought it was later than that. I don't know. Long story short, the Bills had a lead and it was late in the game. The Bills were trying to get the Eagles to jump offside to seal the game. And the Eagles actually jumped offside and the Bills sealed the football game and won. I feel like it was late 2000s. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why, but that Eagles game, because that was a Bills team that wasn't very good. I feel like that might have been when Ryan Fitzpatrick
2011.
Look it up.
2011.
Is that it? Yeah,
I was at that game.
That's the game where they jumped offside, and the Bills got off to a really good start that season. That's right. They beat Philly. That's the year. They were 5-2. They went to Toronto, lost to, I think it was Washington. Yeah. Fitz got bruised ribs. He got injured. He tried to play through it. The season went up in flames. But I remember that Eagles game. That was kind of weird.
That was the last time the Bills beat the Eagles too, by the way. And like I said, I'm just excited for this matchup too, because this is only the 16th matchup between these 2 franchises. And Howard, since you got a few more minutes, what are some keys from a Buffalo perspective for a Bills win over the Eagles on Sunday at Highmark Stadium?
Well, I mean, you can't let Barkley run wild. I mean, he's going to get his yards. He's too talented. And, but you can't let him have a crazy 150 plus 200-yard rushing game and dominate the Bills defense. It sounds old school, but yeah, you got to get Cook going. But I think the Bills passing game, I mean, it'd be nice to see some downfield passing in the Bills passing game. I know, the Eagles have some good guys in the secondary, right? But I think the Bills need to establish their downfield passing game. It's not been what it's been in the past. They go through long stretches where it feels like every pass is less than 10 air yards. I think they need to establish that. And I'd like to see that too. I think in terms of the Bills' chances of succeeding in the playoffs, their passing game has to become a little bit more consistent. But yeah, Cook having a good day, Josh in the downfield passing game, assuming Josh is healthy and okay to go. And don't let Saquon run bananas crazy on you.
And also, too, you think they're going to have a spy on Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts has been running more out of the pocket lately too, because he's
I
a
would
better
think,
quarterback as freelance.
Yeah, I would think there should be somebody hanging around just to keep an eye on him. They've done it on occasion. I'm trying to remember which. I'm never going to remember, Chris, but there have been some times, probably in the opener against Baltimore, you would think they would have done it against Lamar Jackson. But I think there's another game where you'll watch the play develop, and the Bills they might rush 3 and keep a 4th guy in the area, or rush 4 and have a 5th guy kind of hanging around reading the quarterback just to make sure he's not a threat to run. I would think they have to account in some way. I don't know if it's a dedicated spy all the time or most of the time, but I would assume at times you'll see someone who has to account for Jalen Hurts and his running ability.
Howard, we all know who's on the Bills offense, obviously Allen and Cook and Kincaid and Knox. Is there an X factor for the Bills possibly on Sunday against Philly? Somebody that could come out of
Boy, if they do, it's just going to be a surprise because nobody is. Keon Coleman, if he dresses, I guess would be. I'll tell you what. Because Coleman's been a massive disappointment. I'd like to see the Bills dress Gabe Davis. He's been scratched the last 2 games. I don't want to make it sound like X factor might be too strong, Chris.
Okay.
But a guy who could help the passing game, a guy who's a reliable weapon, he's not going to come out and have 100 yards receiving, but he can make some plays downfield. He's someone that Josh has chemistry with. There's that trust factor. They're just someone not named Khalil Shakir has to really step up in this wide receiving corps. So if he's not inactive, my X factor would be Gabe Davis.
Mine's going to be the kickers for both teams. Jake Elliott, who's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, one of the greatest kickers in Eagles history, has missed, I think, 7 or 8 field goals recently. He's been really shaky. Who's going to be the Bills field goal kicker this Sunday?
Yeah, I'm just checking. I forgot to, with the holidays, I wasn't really paying the closest attention. So Matt Prater has been injured. I'm trying to check the practice list from yesterday just to see, because they did not get a good game in terms of kicking last week. Prater hasn't practiced, so that's not good. I was a little surprised I didn't go sign a kicker this week, because last week the kicking game was lacking. Prater's been good. Bass is out for the year, so he's not an option. If it comes down to both kickers, I saw Elliott's numbers in terms of field goals have been really bad. So I'm not sure who has an edge there in terms of the kicking game, because neither, if Prater can't kick, Chris, that's not a good situation for the Bills.
I think you're going to see a lot of 4th down gambles, even 4th and longs, instead of trying for field goals. And like I said, Jake Elliott, I think, is playing for his job. If he has another bad game against the Bills, I think they could easily cut him too. But then again, who do you pick up as a kicker at this time of the year?
Well, that's why I was kind of hoping. Again, I have no idea who's out there, but I know the Bills, every team has ready lists. Every team is always bringing guys in for tryouts over the course of the season. And I just assume after, I think Badgley hit an upright last week. He did not have a good game. I kind of thought they would go out and just find somebody, come in and take a look at him and practice this week and see if he's good enough to go in the game. So we'll see. At this point, they haven't. And with Prater not practicing at all Wednesday and Thursday, I would think that's an indication he's not going to be playing on Sunday.
Howard, can I get your prediction? How do you feel? How do you see this game going?
Yeah. I don't even know what I did on Tuesday on Pick the Bills. I think I picked them to win, Chris. I think it's a tough matchup for the Bills offense against the Eagles defense. I looked at some of the numbers. It looks like they've been playing better of late. I'm not necessarily going to go by what they did against Vegas and Washington. Those are bad football teams, but Green Bay, who was in there, Detroit,
the Rams,
Prescott and the Cowboys were in there. Right. They had played some good offenses prior to the Rams the Commanders and the Raiders. I think that's a tough matchup, but I think Cook would be able to run the ball a little bit. While the Bills don't make explosive pass plays, they've been able to make enough pass plays to complement, I can't believe I'm saying this, to complement their running game. I don't think Barkley's going to have a crazy run you into the ground day. I think it will be high scoring. I actually think it'll honestly end up both teams in the upper 20s. I will take the Bills to win a close game. Jake Elliott misses a field goal at the end.
Well, it's funny how he's won 2 Super Bowls. He's had a lot of big kicks, but in football, it's what have you done now, not what you've done in the past. So I think the Eagles can win this game. I think it's going to be a very exciting, entertaining game. And Howard, I want to wrap this up because I know you're going to get going. I want to say thank you so much for giving us a half an hour today. And where can our audience again find you on social media? And do you have any upcoming appearances on WGR?
Don't even worry about it, Chris. I hardly, since I quit GR a couple years ago, since I semi-retired. I mean, I'm still on X, but I'm not going to lie. I don't really tweet that often. Usually it's just Bills game days. So everybody go follow Chris and everybody else that you want to follow. And I'm good.
Well, Howard, hopefully maybe we can have you back again if these two teams can meet in a Super Bowl, because I think they got two of the best fan bases in pro sports and in the NFL. And I'm really looking forward to Hurts and Allen matchup, because that last matchup was exciting as well. It should be a great game, Howard. And maybe when we have you on next time, we'll talk a little more about the Buffalo Sabres, who are playing much better hockey, and your New York Mets as well.
Yeah, well, maybe we can skip the Mets discussion.
But the Sabres are playing good hockey.
That's a little more positive than the Mets discussion. So, yeah.
Well, Howard, thank you so much for doing this. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, and good luck to your Bills Sunday. It should be a great game.
Thanks, Chris. Have a great New Year, sir.
You too. Thank you, Howard.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, that wraps up season 12, episode 33, overall 638 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership here in Guelph. Want to say thank you to Howard Simon, the longtime Buffalo media and radio personality on WGR 550, for coming on here today to talk Eagles and Bills with us as well. Before we wrap up the show, everybody, I volunteer twice a week as a dog walker and a fundraiser for the Cambridge Humane Society, and one of the dogs that have been down there for a long time, Pebbles, has been adopted, and I did a little video clip of Pebbles before she before she left the shelter and was adopted by her new owner. This is Pebbles. News, everybody. After 6 long months here at the Cambridge District Humane Society at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario, Pebbles, who is a 1.5-year-old female boxer mix, has been adopted and is going home today. And I'm going to spend some time with her before she goes to her new home with her new family. So Pebbles has finally been adopted here at the Cambridge District Humane Society after a 6 months wait. I am so happy for Pebbles, and glad I can spend a little more time with her at the end. Come on, Pebbles, let's go. Oh, here she comes. She comes. Oh, Pebbles. She loves to play with her toys, by the way. That's Pebbles. That clip was courtesy of my YouTube channel, Chris Pame Live with CDP Talk Show. Please subscribe, like, and share. And that was Pebbles, who is a female boxer, was down at the Humane Society in Cambridge for 193 days. She has been now adopted and in a home for the last 2 weeks as well. And if you're looking to adopt a pet, check out the Cambridge District Humane Society, located at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, right across from the Cambridge Center Mall. You can call them at 519-623-7722, extension 0, if you'd like to book an appointment to look at one of the animals and pets up for adoption. And their website is cambridgehumanesociety.org, cambridgehumanesociety.org. They have great dogs down there right now, like Daisy and Christopher and Dieter, who are looking for homes as well. And also, they're still selling 2026 Cambridge District Humane Society calendars for only $10. I want to say thank you to everyone who bought a calendar for me. I sold 40 calendars and raised $400. So if you're looking to adopt a pet, check out the Cambridge District Humane Society. And also, they do have an Amazon wish list at the Cambridge District Humane Society. Go on cambridgehumanesociety.org as well. And if you have pet food, dog food, cat litter, garbage bags, paper towels, bedding, please feel free to drop them off at the Cambridge District Humane Society. Again, right across from the Cambridge Center Mall at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge. Michelle Glatley and the staff there do a wonderful job of looking after the homeless animals and making sure they get adopted into good homes with good families as well. So check out the Cambridge District Humane Society. Again, cambridgehumanesociety.org. And I do volunteer down there twice a week walking dogs as well. So if you're looking to volunteer, you can fill out a volunteer application form through cambridgehumanesociety.org. And as we wrap up this show today, guys, again, you can follow Howard Simon on Twitter X /HSimon62. And he does write some Bills articles on WGR 550 website. So again, you can follow Howard Simon on Twitter X at Howard Simon62. And he's also does some writing for the Bills on the WGR website, odyssey.com/WGR550 as well. And as we wrap up this show, guys, Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership is your goal to service center this winter. A no charge. That's right. A no charge 12 volt battery test, plus receive a $20 instant rebate located at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. So with winter here and the cold temperatures here, get your battery checked for free at Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership. A 12 volt battery charge, no charge, and you can receive a $20 instant rebate on a new battery if you need one as well. And again, Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership located at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com. And again, Barry Cullen Chevrolet is the official sponsor and advertiser on Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're looking for a personalized video message from CDP, go to cameo.com. That's right, I'm on Cameo. Cameo.com, type in Chris Palme, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy anniversary, happy birthday. If you want to ask me questions about the Philadelphia Eagles, my talk show, my media work, some of my favorite interviews, book a Cameo now. Get yourself a holiday gift from yours truly, CDP. So cameo.com/Chris Palme. You can follow me on Blue Sky Social. Blue Sky Social is like what Twitter X used to be, at Live with CDP19. At Live with CDP19 on Blue Sky Social. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, again, is live streamed on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and now available on Instagram. And I am working on hopefully having this show on TikTok as well. Apparently, StreamYard has partnered up with TikTok, so hopefully we can get this show on another platform through TikTok as well. And I do have another announcement to make too, guys. I do have another show coming up as we wrap this up. The next Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, again, sponsored by barrycullen.com, Saturday, December 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific Standard Time, with my guest first appearance, Nicole Shawega. She's a life coach, teacher, and author. So Nicole Shawega will be joining me this Saturday night, December 27th, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 on the West Coast. And she is a teacher, an author, and an intuitive life coach as well. And we're going to talk a little about her career as a life coach, as a teacher, and the author of her own book as well. So Nicole Shawaga will be my guest. I will try to make sure I get her name right for Saturday as well. So hopefully you guys can tune into that show this Saturday at 7 o'clock. And as we wrap up this show, guys, you can check out my website, beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme. All my social media sites, all my media work is on that site. So beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme if you want to check out my little website there is. Well, again, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com. You can also follow this content creator on TikTok at Chris Palme. I do post a lot of content there on TikTok at Chris Palme, so make sure you follow me, share, and like. And I want to say thank you to my 1,400 plus followers on TikTok. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars, podcasting, live streaming, check out StreamYard.com. They have basic free plans, paid professional plans like I have. And if you're a business that does a lot of webinars and a lot of live streaming, go to StreamYard.com and contact your sales department for business pricing as well. And yours truly has been with StreamYard now for 5 years. Big thumbs up to StreamYard.com. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. The audio version is on these platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasters, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, Tuned In, YouTube Music, and Good Pods. And please remember to like, share, and enjoy. And I want to say thank you to 70 countries around the world for listening to my show on these audio platforms, and also to everyone listening to this show on Spotify. I have hit over 10,000 downloads and listens on Spotify as well. So thank you to everyone for listening to the show on all these audio platforms too. Finally, guys, you can email me at Live with CDP Sports Entertainment Talk Show at cpame19@gmail.com. Any comments, questions, suggestions, and feedback would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you like to support my YouTube channel and my talk shows, you really like my media content, I am on PayPal at Chris Pame. If you'd like to PayPal me there, at Chris Pame on PayPal, or book a personalized video message from yours truly on cameo.com and type in Chris Pame. Finally, guys, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, X, Threads, Instagram, LinkedIn, Blue Sky Social, everywhere except Snapchat. And please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Chris Pame Live with CDP Talk Show. Subscribe, like, and share there as well. And also, if you're a local business and you'd like to advertise on my talk show, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, the Small Talk Podcast, or the Argo Bounce Podcast Show, I am on 21 platforms, and I do have listeners in 70 countries around the world, over 10,000 listens on Spotify, and I'm approaching over 600,000 views on my YouTube channel. So please email me at cpame19@gmail.com or DM me on social media. I look forward to working with you and advertising your business on Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. And my prices are much more reasonable and competitive than traditional radio stations as well. So if you're looking to advertise, check out CDP Media Productions, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, hosted by yours truly, Chris Pame. And as we wrap up this show, guys, again, we had Christmas football yesterday on Netflix and Amazon Prime. Dallas won 23-20 over Washington. Minnesota eliminated the Detroit Lions 23-10. So the Detroit Lions, for the first time in 3 years, are out of the playoffs. And please check out Matt Derry's Locked On Lions podcast. If you're a fan of the Detroit Lions, fan of the National Football League, Matt Derry, who's a friend of mine and a friend of the show, does a great job on the Locked On Lions podcast. And Matt's going to break down the Lions' loss to the Vikings and how disappointing the season is, being 8-8 and last place in NFC North as well. So again, you guys, check out the Lock On Lions podcast with Matt Derry. It's on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify as well. And also there's another podcast I want to plug out. Greg Eno, Nick, and Al do the Knee Jerk podcast out of Detroit. It's done every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, and it's on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify as well. So if you're a fan of Detroit sports teams, check out the Knee Jerk podcast with Greg Eno, Nick, and Al as well. And also, guys, I want to talk about Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen. Josh Allen's the MVP. Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl MVP. Jalen Hurts, 28 out of 2. I'm going to compare their stats, okay, guys? Jalen Hurts first, 281 completions, 427 attempts, 3,114 yards, 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, quarterback rating of 100.2 with 8 rushing touchdowns. Josh Allen, 296 completed, 425 attempts, 3,400 yards, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 103.3 rating. There really isn't much of a difference between Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. And Josh Allen has not played in a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts has been in 2 Super Bowls. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes in both Super Bowls, should have been the MVP in both Super Bowls, and has a Super Bowl MVP. So as great as Josh Allen is, Jalen Hurts' stats are very similar to Josh Allen. Josh Allen has 12 rushing touchdowns this year coming into the game Sunday. Jalen Hurts has 8. I believe Josh Allen has over 500 yards rushing. Jalen Hurts 400 yards rushing. So I think this game Sunday is going to be great because Jalen Hurts has not gotten the respect that Josh Allen has. 2 Super Bowl appearances in 3 years, a Super Bowl MVP, and he's outplayed Mahomes in both Super Bowls, while Josh Allen is 0-4 against him. So I'm looking forward to it. Bills, Eagles, 4:25 Sunday. Game is on Fox. Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady with the call, along with Aaron Andrews. And if you're an Eagles fan, you can listen to it on WIP 94.1 with Merle Reese and Mike Quick, or you can listen to it on the Bills Radio Network with Chris Brown and Eric Wood as well. So I'm really looking forward to this game. The Eagles lead the Lifetime Series 9-6. They've only met 15 times. The Eagles have won the last 3 matches. The last time they played the Bills was November 2023, where Jalen Hurts, I think, outplayed Josh Allen, led the Eagles to a 37-34 win in overtime over Buffalo. Like I said, and then they the last time the Eagles were in Buffalo was October 2019. The Eagles and Carson Wentz, his last year with the Eagles, defeated the Bills 31-14, and that really was Josh Allen's first full year as starting quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. So 9-6, they're against the Bills, and this is only their 9th appearance in Buffalo as well. The Bills' last win against the Eagles was back in 2011 when Ryan Fitzpatrick beat the Eagles in Orchard Park, I believe 31-24 as well. Michael Vick was the quarterback of the Eagles then, and Shady McCoy as well. And by the way, Nick Sirianni comes into this game with a 58-25 record in the regular season with the Eagles in 5 years, and in the playoffs he's 6-3. So overall, Nick Sirianni is 64-28 as head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles since 2021, and it's hard to believe some of the media and the fans wanted him fired as well. So the Eagles and Bills Sunday, 4:25 kickoff. Howard gave you guys his prediction. He sees the Bills winning this game. I see the Eagles winning this game, but people are not going to like it. I got the Eagles winning this game. I feel the Eagles are going to score a lot of points against this Bills defense. I think their run defense is not very good, and I do think the Eagles have the receivers, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. They have Grant Katera. They have a lot of weapons, and I do feel the Eagles are going to win this game. I think they're going to win it 40-21. I do think the Bills will get a couple touchdowns, but I'm going to put myself on the line here, guys. If I'm wrong, you guys can rib me on social media, but I've got the Eagles winning this game 40-21. And if Jalen Carter comes back on the defense, and you're going to have Lane Johnson back, that will be big helps as well. Nakobe Dean, I'm not sure he's going to play in this game. He left the game against Washington with a hamstring injury, so I'm not sure he's going to play in this game as well, but I really do feel the Eagles will get up for the Buffalo Bills. Sean McDermott against Nick Sirianni. And Sean McDermott used to coach the Eagles from 1999 to 2010 as a defensive coordinator and a coach under Andy Reid before Andy Reid fired him. And then Andy Reid's now in Kansas City as well. So we got that. And former Eagles quarterback, great, Ron Jaworski is from Lackawanna, New York as well. So there are some New York State, Buffalo area ties to the Philadelphia Eagles as well, especially LaShawn McCoy, who was traded to Buffalo a number of years ago for Kiko Alonso. That was one of the worst trades in Eagle history. Buffalo clearly won that trade as well. The Detroit Red Wings are back in action tonight at Little Caesars Arena. Actually, tomorrow night. The Red Wings are back in action tomorrow night, and the Buffalo Sabres are playing Boston tomorrow as well. So I'm really looking forward to it, guys. Eagles, Bills, again, 4:25, Highmark Stadium. This will be the last time the Eagles come to the current Highmark Stadium. and probably their last trip to Buffalo for the next 5 years. These teams don't play that much as well. So again, I've got Eagles winning 40-21 over the Bills. And I want to say thank you to Howard Simon, former longtime Buffalo media and radio personality from WGR 550 for coming on here today. I hope everybody has a great Boxing Day holiday. And again, Merry belated Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, and we'll see you back here Saturday, December 27th at 7 p.m. with my special guest, Nicole Shawaga, life coach, teacher, and author. Have a great day, everybody, and thanks for watching and listening to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, hosted by Chris Pame and brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership here in Guelph.